All right, welcome everybody. Call the meeting to order. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Malusa?
here.
Mr. Beckman?
Yes.
Mr. Diatti?
Here.
Mr. La Palermo?
Here.
Mr. Max?
Here.
Ms. Wacholder? Present. Mr. Targin?
Dave?
Here. Here.
Gotcha. All right, at this time, is there any public comment? Nobody? Okay. Moving on. All right, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda, CA1, CA2, and CA3.
Motion.
Bill, second.
Second.
Mark? Roll call, please.
Mr. Beckman?
Yes.
Mr. Diatti?
Yes.
Mr. La Palermo?
Yes.
Mr. Max?
Yes.
Ms. Wacholder? Yes. Mr. Targin?
Yeah.
And Mr. Malusa?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, promote your pride.
I'm very excited to introduce some of our special ed teachers, Ms. Fucci and Ms. Pacello. And they came to Mrs. Hira and I about a month ago with a project that they wanted to implement here at Neuer School.
Well, thank you for having us tonight. We're excited to share this with you. We're going to be presenting on Special Olympics and how our school is going to be participating in Unified Schools and the Young Athletes Program moving forward.
Okay, so the main idea for the program is to have the whole school involved. So it's going to affect us in three ways. Unified sports, which is a combination of typical gen ed peers as well as our kiddos with special needs. Leadership, so giving it leadership for the students. So having committees with both gen ed peers and special ed kids, and then a whole school involvement, so getting everybody involved. So the goal is to move away from an adaptive PE class where it's just like the special ed kids segregated, and more towards a unified program where everybody's included, because these are all gen ed students. They're all our students.
So going into a little bit more detail about those three components, Ms. Pacello mentioned the first one is Unified Sports. That's broken up into two different kind of categories for the grade levels that are involved in it. So we have the team sports, which we're not quite there yet. That takes a little bit more development, but those can be any of these sports here. And that is a combination of half general education students and half special education students. They can do types of tournaments, and they can do their practice time during their PE time. The other component is a Young Athletes Program, which is for ages 2 through 7. And this is where they're working on those skills before the sports. So like dribbling a basketball, learning how to pass, those prerequisite skills to kind of move on to the team sports. This again is a combination of all of our students, and all of the resources are provided from the Special Olympics, which is the best part of this program, I think.
And the cool thing with both of them is it ends with some sort of culminating event where students are able to demonstrate their skills, and there's an awards, and it just kind of again brings the whole school involved. The next part is leadership. So kind of this might be something that might join into like our junior PBIS with the peer leaders, a youth activation committee. So this is really all the kids are doing the work. Our role is just to facilitate. So for example, it could be 6 kids, 3 SPED, 3 Gen Ed, and then the teachers advising, and then Special Olympics hosts the Youth Activation Committee Summit, and it's a training for both kids and students. It should be kids and teachers, sorry. Also, great thing is Special Olympics pays for it. The only thing is the school would have to pay for the transportation. And the other interesting thing is it's no parents, so it's entirely an independent weekend, and the kids they're okay, like they're able to handle it, and it just gives them a little bit more of a voice, and they're not being constantly with their parents. They can meet new people. And something that this committee would put on then at our school would they might lead a school-wide polar plunge team, or they might lead a Change for Change, which is a spare change fundraiser.
The third component of all of this is the whole school involvement. So these are events to get the whole school and community involved in Special Olympics. So these can be things like Pack the Place Night, so where everybody comes and watches your unified sports team play in a tournament. It could be our PBIS Get Into It curriculum, which is a curriculum that Special Olympics gave us as part of this program. There's an online version as well as a hard copy version that can be passed out to all the teachers. There's Movies That Move, which are popular clips from movies that kids know about that encompass different life scenarios where there's bullying or discrimination and how we can tackle those head on. And then I already talked about the online version. And then there's a Respect campaign, which we'll talk a little bit more about later, but this is where every school gets a startup program of $200 just to do the Respect campaign. You can get more materials later on if you need to, but every year the theme is determined by students. So they kind of get to come up with the idea each year.
And then so what we had to do on our end to get all these great resources, we had to complete a school commitment letter online and then have the contact person. So I've been contacting, we've got our commitment form, it's in, they've accepted it. We communicate with the Special Olympics reps, and then at the very end we have to do a numbers report just so that they can get some data on how many kids are involved, as well as an annual survey, and then we can communicate our needs or any requests to Special Olympics, and they've been really great about it. They got us signed up with a newsletter, and they've been really helpful with us as we're trying to plan our Respect campaign. They've gotten us materials and helping us find other ways that we can get more to, again, continue to get everybody involved.
So these are just some of the resources that they provide. Everything is free. So some of the things are the Youth Athletes Program resources. So if we start up those sports, all of those materials will be provided for us. They get into a curriculum, which kind of goes with PBIS. That's provided, the movies, the materials for the Respect campaign. There's lots of opportunities for us to do more grants, to get more money to help with these programs. Participating in the YAC committee and the summit, leadership, and different opportunities for us to become more knowledgeable with webinars and trainings.
So just kind of something more about the grant opportunities. Just in the past, $30,000 was given out, and it kind of seemed that if you want it and if you go for it, you're gonna get, you're gonna get kind of what they have to give you. So like if the limit's $15,000, so again, if your thing, or $1,500, sorry. So if your thing's only $700 worth, they'll give you the money. And some things they've done is they've made buddy benches and murals. They've given money to sponsor after school clubs. So not necessarily paying for the teachers to do it, that's all volunteer, but providing, like if you did a cooking class, they'd give you money so you could go buy the resources, buy the materials. Also can be used to host parent night, again, equipment. They kind of said there's really no limit to what you can ask for. It just has to go towards the program. And anyone can complete them. Some of the teachers could do, admin could do, or even the students could do maybe on that committee. And it's offered on an annual basis.
As far as suggestions for parent communication, they did suggest that we send out letters kind of informing all the parents. We can have meetings set up through Special Olympics, so our representative has volunteered and offered to come and actually present to parents if need be about the different opportunities there are for this. They make a lot of the materials for us, so those aren't things that we have to spend some time doing. There are letters that go home after every young athlete's lesson, which is a part of the curriculum for the gym, on what the students did and the skills that they practiced. So a lot of these things are already pre-made for us.
And then just some upcoming events. So May 11th, District 54 is having their culminating event in Hoffman Estates. It's very big. The mayor and the superintendent come out. They do a whole opening ceremonies. And this is kind of in conjunction with anything. I don't know if you've ever been to a Special Olympics event, but they do a really nice job. They have a torchlight ceremony, and all the kids come out and they walk around, and it's a really neat opportunity. And then the other thing is the Respect campaign. Since this is 50 years of Special Olympics, they're celebrating that. The theme is Respect is Golden. Do we have a newsletter?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So I guess as an end to our presentation, we would like to ask you, our board, if you would take the pledge and sign our Respect campaign. Respect is golden this year. It's 50 years of Special Olympics.
Yeah, so this is moving away from kind of the spread the word to end the word, not using certain words. This is more, we're going to teach just to be respectful right away, not teach what you shouldn't say, so that it's our choice and language frames how we think about others, and we're going to eliminate derogatory terms, and we're going to present this to the kids as well, and we're going to have them sign it, and then our plan is to display it. We're thinking maybe somewhere in the cafeteria so that everybody can see it. We can all remember to respect each other.
Thank you. And I know there's some staff here as well, so if any of the staff want to come up and sign early, you're more than welcome to sign up.
You get a bracelet. I will. Bracelet on the word numbers going out. The mayor's gonna get it.
The mayor's gotta get it first.
You want to just sign anywhere?
Yeah, it is. And it's cool that the kids come up with it every year. So. I think we need another poster.
Yeah, I know, right? But you can buy.
That's okay.
We'll
Some
figure
of
out
the
another
students.
spot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I promise I get mine.
I'm just teasing. I'm sure you will.
We're bored.
I did something.
I'll just throw them on this.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you.
Sounds like a nice shower. It's really neat.
My brother's involved in this school special.
I got mine just now.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
great.
sign under mayor. I'll be your lieutenant mayor. Good thing.
I think I got everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, they just want to pass the hands on the.
That's all. Dave, will we sign for you?
You guys didn't, I'll sign out. I was gonna sign after the meeting, but thanks. You signed it, you signed it.
Go, ladies, please, no, I'll get skinny on you.
Thank you. Thank you. Watch these later. Jill, sorry.
I know.
Here's
Oh, perfect, thank you. 50, that's the goal. See, I'm catching on you before you know it.
Thank you.
Oh, that's in my collection. My kids missed it. I got yelled at the other day. I wasn't wearing it on stage.
Well, thank you very much for that presentation.
Great, thank you. Good news.
Really excited to
Oh,
have
okay.
that here at our center. Thank you.
Okay, on to information items, district enrollment. Any questions on the district enrollment? Nothing really changed?
428.
Hold strong.
No questions? Okay, principal's report?